to the EMS meeting. We'll just get started. We have Tori here to discuss an opportunity of doing EMS things at the fire station. So Tori, whenever you're ready.
All right, yes. So yeah, my name is Tori. I've met a couple of you, a couple I haven't. I am the EMS lieutenant at Rapid Valley Fire Department. And I just kind of wanted to talk to everybody here about some really good opportunities that we have for students, especially students that are trying to get into medical school or PA school. So actually have a PowerPoint, like a super short PowerPoint. This is more or less a discussion. So if you have any type of questions or anything, just stop me immediately and we'll just go over it. But what's everybody's plans after your undergraduate? Or is anybody planning on doing, Kyle, you doing like medical school or PA school or anything?
I'm going for PT school, so a little bit different path.
Okay. I think some of this should still apply to you. So yeah, let me know if you got any questions. Marianne and Logan, what are you two planning on doing? So you're involved in the EMS club, or are you just more or less interested in pre-hospital patient care work, or how's this working out?
I am PA. I'm hoping to go to PA school. I work as kind of a CNA, so I'm getting patient care hours.
Nice.
I want to join the EMS club, but I had track before during meeting times, so now I'm free to join.
Awesome. How about you, Logan? If you don't mind.
Yeah, I plan on going to meds. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'd like to go to med school after this, and I'd really like joining the EMS club to kind of diversify myself and see what the EMS is all about and kind of get more experience in that sense, I guess.
Yeah, awesome. Well, this should all apply to you all. There's lots of opportunities, and hopefully this just kind of shines some light on what opportunities are presented when you're with a volunteer fire department. Of course, I'm with Rapid Valley Fire Department, but my main motivation here today is not to like recruit for Rapid Valley. It's just to kind of enlighten everybody on opportunities that should really help your application process. So I'm going to share my screen if that's all right. Just close a couple windows here. Okay. Is everybody seeing what I'm seeing? Okay, so as I said, Tori Kavanaugh, I'm the EMS lieutenant at Rapid Valley Fire. So, like I said, there's lots of ways that you can improve your application through volunteering with a fire department. And here's kind of a big list of more or less all the general stuff that you're going to be able to improve your application with. Just for orientation, right here we've got the three subcategories of all fire departments, right? So you've got the fire side of things. So that's your structure fire, wildland fires. And then you've got your EMS side, which is your medical calls, your trauma calls that come through. And then you've got your rescue side. So that's your ice rescue, water rescue, your vehicle extraction type stuff. So, and as a member, you can partake in all these calls depending on your certifications. That's really going to just depend on what you can do on scene, right? So if you're just an EMT, you're not going to be able to like completely help with, structure fires. You can still help, you can go there and help, but you're not going to be, at the end of a hose inside the house or anything like that. So basically what happens if you get into a fire department, you're going to have the opportunity to go in and do some volunteer hours. And that's actually really nice for this COVID-19 situation we have right now, where a lot of classes are online, because I just go to Rapid Valley and I find a nice quiet spot and I'll have, 6 hours or however many hours that day to study, and I'll just study and do homework until I get a call, and then I'll go make those calls, get those patient contacts, and then come back and finish my studying. So the studying itself improves my overall GPA, because I can tell you right now, I can't study like I do at Rapid Valley at home. I got 2 kids, so they're like wild. So it's nice to have a space to actually go and commit myself to studying. And the patient contacts that I get, those are really nice. You get people that are in life-threatening situations. So they're really good patient contact hours, and all that stuff you can get, put into your personal essay, and have a lot of really good things to talk about with all these good patient contacts. With that, a quick note, there's also instructing opportunities, which also add another layer of depth into your pre-hospital experience through a volunteer fire department. So for instance, I'm a paramedic, and I teach EMT classes for those. I teach EMT refresher courses, and you don't have to be a paramedic or even an EMT to teach that stuff. Like, for instance, I always invite people to come and be like a co-instructor with me so they can teach that material, and I'll just be there to help whenever needed. And I think that's really good for people. I think the more that you actually instruct, the better you're going to know that material. And all this wrapped into one is you giving back to your community, which if you look at, the schools that you want to go to PA school at, or the schools that you want to go to medical school at, if you go and read their mission statement, you're always going to see that sense of community in that mission statement. So having done some volunteering and getting these opportunities to study for school, getting these great patient contacts, and even potentially having some instructing opportunities, you can talk about that in your personal essay, and it's going to add a lot of depth to your application. That's kind of a whole lot of stuff in one slide. Does anybody have any questions over that? And so let's move on. So at Rapid Valley Fire Department, we also have a opportunity for student residents. So that's students that want to stay at the fire department at the station, and essentially they're like paid employees. They're staffing, and they're just there to make calls. So this is a really good program. It doesn't work for everybody, but for the people that it does work for, it seems like it's a really good program. This is all funded by this SAFER grant here, and that's a federal grant that the fire departments can get. So this is all available on Rapid Valley Fire Department's website, but here's a link to the student resident program specifically. If you want that, just let me know. I can get any of this information to anybody after the class here. So what does it take to become a member? So again, we already talked about the EMS, the fire, and the rescue side. Essentially, to become a member, there's just a couple forms to fill out, and then you just have to show up for a business meeting where they just vote you on. Everybody gets voted on unless there's, like past history of issues with an individual, and I don't expect anybody here to have those problems. But all that stuff's available on Rapid Valley Fire Department's website. You could also call Rapid Valley Fire about it, or you can contact me. And if you were interested in becoming a member, I would definitely contact myself, and I'll talk to the personnel captain and make sure everything's good to go on that side. So, so what else I was going to talk about this real quick. So like the EMS side, you don't have to be an EMT to go to medical calls. You don't even have to be an emergency first responder. You can just be interested in all that stuff and available to go on those. And all you have to have is another EMT with you, and then you can make medical calls and trauma calls. So you don't even have to go through the whole class to become an EMT to get these patient contacts. So that's really nice. On the fire side, like for instance, I don't have any fire certifications, but I'll still go to fires and I help set up equipment. I change out the firefighters' oxygen, or not their oxygen, but their compressed air bottles. I do firefighter rehab, basically making sure the firefighters are not getting hyperthermic or dehydrated, or that they don't have some type of tachycardia or some issue like that. So there's lots of different stuff you can do. On the rescue side, I can still go. I can treat any injuries that might happen during a situation like that. So don't think that you need to, become an EMT or become certified with structure fire or anything like that to be a member. It's pretty chill to get a membership and to actually partake and everything like that. Excuse me. So that's about it for me. Do we have any questions? Here's some information: Rapid Valley Fire website, and then my contact information. Take any of that down if you want. And yeah, questions. Do we have any questions? No? All right. Well, hopefully that just means I presented enough information. Okay, I'm gonna stop my sharing here.
Thanks, Tori.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. There's lots of really good information, good opportunities. If you're looking for, if you're short on volunteer hours, short on patient contact hours, if you're just having a hard time finding time to study, you can get like all three of those things knocked out all at the same time. So, yeah, let me know if you got any questions.
Awesome, thank you. So then we'll go now into officer nominations. Sorry, I'll put my computer a little closer to me. YouTube. So ignore all of my tabs. I like to play a very risky game with my life. Just whether or not when I press on a tab, it actually stays open or it closes on me. It's my one joy I have. So, oh dear. Do you guys see that all right? Is it big enough? Awesome. Okay. So future meetings we're originally going to have another American Sign Language today, but turns out they were really busy. So the question is, do we want to have another opportunity to have someone come and teach American Sign Language later on, maybe like next week or 2 weeks from now? Or do you guys want to pass on that? I thought it was super cool when they first came. Like, we had a translator and a woman who was deaf speaking in their sign language, and she was coming up with like different hand gestures to signal our names, and I thought it was really nifty, and it's very incredibly useful for, if you are an EMT, to be able to communicate with this community, because imagine if they're having this giant panic over an emergency setting and you can't even talk to, your EMT, and you can't even like talk to the doctors and communicate what you need. So what do you guys feel? Feel free to jump in whenever. Don't fight over it.
Yeah, I'd like to do another meeting with that. I missed the first one and I was really bummed out about it. So another opportunity with them.
Yeah, so when do you guys think a good opportunity would be? Next Tuesday we could do, which is April 6th. Or we could always do 2 weeks from now. We could do it on April 20th or April 27th. Or we could also do during finals week, but I doubt anyone wants to come and do that during a sad week. What are you guys thinking?
I think the earlier the better, in my opinion. I'm pretty open on these Tuesdays, so.
Okay, we'll do April 6th. I will send her an email today. Our backup date will be April 20th in case she can't do that, but I will give her an email today. Spanish and healthcare will be April 13th with Antonio. And we should be learning just some basic Spanish and healthcare, which should be really exciting. Also another good way. I mean, obviously, if you can't communicate to your healthcare provider in an already stressful situation, I just imagine that's more stressful. Elections, which we'll talk about later, that will most likely be April 27th of 2020. So we'll probably host them that night. In general, we'll do nominations tonight, and then we'll have this kind of couple weeks for everyone to really consider, and then we'll do elections. Or yeah, no, we're gonna do that because that's the only day that we have that's like doesn't fill, unless of course we don't do April 6th. Maybe we'll do it next week. I'll figure that out. I'll think about it, and also learn how to spell April. CPR and AED sessions. So we can either do it through Small Rock, which, as you know, or maybe you don't know, she's the safety person of the chemistry building. So I've been talking with her to figure out a date. Sorry that's been taking so long. If we go with her, it has to be after April 6th. I'm thinking we would do a Saturday because who doesn't want to spend their Saturdays doing CPR and AED? It's a way better idea in my head, at least. And then you can wake up like early and then feel productive in the morning rather than trying to squeeze it in during your guys' really busy weeks. Does that seem? So I guess that's the first thing is, what weekend sounds good to you guys? Oh dear, I don't want to draw.
For me, definitely not like this weekend, which I don't think you'd be able to arrange anyways. And preferably before finals. But for me, anytime between those is it.
Yeah, so I guess I'll list out the Saturdays. So do you guys think Saturdays sound pretty nifty?
Yeah, for CPR and AED certification, I think Saturday is the best option.
Okay, awesome. So I'm thinking April 10th, April 17th, or April 24th. Those are all the ones before finals week. Of course, we can also do May 1st, but again, that's like reading right into finals week. So also assume you guys don't want to be sitting there spending your time, but I don't know, maybe that's how you can de-stress is learning how to do CPR correctly. Also just a useful skill to have in Oregon. Everyone does CPR and AED and heart training, and they have one of the lowest heart attack rates, deaths. I guess not rates, but heart attack deaths possible because obviously doing CPR is very important and crucial to get onto. We also have the mining club. Reach out to us if we want to do it with them. It is $60 per person, but most likely is a 10% discount, so about $54 per person is the best case scenario. But as you all know, I have been fundraising like crazy, and I've submitted so many Pancheros forms. I kind of gave up because I think they're really annoyed seeing our names pop up every 2 weeks. But I think we have at least $500, if not more at this point. So depending on how many people are interested, I think we could fund you. But I do need you guys and whoever's listening to let us know. I will put out these dates as potentials, but yeah, makes sense. Good.
Are those dates also an option for the mining club one? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'll put these out as dates. I think I will ask them to keep it to a Saturday because I know you guys are really busy during your week schedules, and if I were a freshman, I would not have had time to do it during the week at all and everything. So I think Saturdays really are the best, and I will ask them if they can't do Saturdays. I'll try to get back to you guys as soon as possible, especially if I have a meeting next week for ASL. I can definitely hopefully have an answer to you guys by then. But I guess how many people do you think of our 6 people would be interested in doing this?
I would be.
I would also.
Sweet. Awesome. I'll do 2. I have to check my own certification to see if I need to renew mine or not. So we'll do 2 for now. All right, nominations. President, aka Chief, because I thought it was way funner to call ourselves chiefs than presidents, because it feels more like the mode of what actual EMS humans do, and also like I just think it was way more fun, and president's really boring sounding. So basically, this is from the Constitution. If any of you would like to go super above and beyond and learn exactly everything we wrote for the Constitution, this is from that. You can find that on our Minds link, but essentially be a member for at least 2 years. You kind of do want to oversee everything and such. You oversee all club business, blah, blah, do what you would expect human chief, president, EMT people to do, and whatnot. Any questions about that? You'll work with public relations chair. You'll also work with treasurer on SOAP. Questions? Okay, nominations, which if I could not do caps lock, obviously, I nominate Logan Junt, and I will nominate Marin. I'm just gonna nominate all of you for this one because I think you all would be great. I feel like you guys are all like high consistency, especially because you guys showed up. Any other nominations? Oh, Micah, I'll nominate you. You guys, if you want to decline, you can call out now.
Thanks, Katie.
Oh my god, why did it delete you? That was confusing. Oh. Oh, I didn't know Google could do that. Like, picks your email and puts it in. Okay, sweet. So, vice president or deputy, because that also sounds way cooler. Basically have same qualifications, chief. Don't worry about that. There's no feasible way you could have that at this point. Work with the chief to assume club business is being addressed, help create agendas, assume position for the entire term, and if the president can't do that, this is who would take over and lead meetings. Do we have any nominations? Feel free to nominate yourself. If you don't, I'll nominate you all, and we'll just nominate you guys for every position. I think you all will be super great for it.
I would love to self-nominate for the deputy position.
Okay, awesome. Any other nominations? Cool.
I can nominate myself.
Yeah, okay, sounds good. I always like it when there are races, especially because being the person sometimes who makes all the schedules, I just self-nominate people as I make them and then put in my own competition. Because I think it's way more fun to have an election, and I think everybody would do really great. Secretary. Sorry, it's not a cool name. I don't think they call them anything that's not secretary. Maybe administrator? Oh, that would have been a cooler name. We'll call you secretary/administrator. Although that's not really what's in the SOAP Constitution, so don't actually tell them we call you that. Sounds pretty much what you do. You'll be doing what I'm doing right now. But yeah, any nominations?
I can nominate myself for that as well.
Okay. We'll just have a one-man team of Logan Junt being every position.
That sounds good.
Marin, I'm gonna nominate you. Is that all right?
Yes, that's okay.
Awesome. Any other nominations? Oh, I guess Corey, what am I even doing? You can't be nominated because you won't be here next year. I'm dumb. Because you're graduating and leaving us and being cool.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up.
I appreciate that. I just got so used to it. I was like, oh, Tori's here. Okay, treasurer. You keep track of money, and we'll be also doing fundraising like crazy. And we'll go through everything on, like, we'll have an officer meet at the end of the year. Any takers? I'm going to nominate Skylar Doty. If no one else, you can always email him later if you're too shy or not here right now and listening to me talk and yabber on. You can always email me to nominate, or maybe I'll just think of you and I'll nominate you and you'll learn when I email you. And then public relations role. That's super cool. As the previous public relations person had discussed, you kind of just get to have time to spend on your phone, but actually feel like you're productively spending it on your phone and getting to post like Instagram and Facebook posts. So I don't know, kind of a cool position because like who doesn't want to scroll Facebook but pretend it's for a club and feel like, that you're doing good that way. It's okay if there's no
I nominate myself.
Awesome. We'll just have a Marin and Logan organization. You guys can have all the positions. Sounds good. Any other questions? I will send out an email with these, and then I will also send an email, and I'll probably and I'll email you guys later on, especially since you guys are all here being nominated. If you were nominated for position, we will have a meeting in the next week, because in the fall we're going to have we don't have to, but we have the email from last fall if we want to have a weekend rocker connection thing, the things where freshmen come in and you can do activities. Last fall we had discussed working with an EMS EMS person over at Western Dakota Tech, who was going to help us do like a medicine in the wilderness hike, and then we were going to try to get our wilderness certifications and do like it's a fun hike with freshmen, and then all of a sudden you stumble upon people with broken legs and you learn how to splint them, because I thought that would be exciting and riveting. Also exercising healthy. So that was my thoughts that we were going to do last fall, but of course you don't have to do this, but we will do that for our next one if you're interested in coming to that meeting. Obviously, everyone who got nominated, I'm going to CC you in the email if you'd like to participate, since it will hopefully be your club next year. But yeah, any other questions? Okay, I'm going to stop